I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mrs. America After Show, episode 7. Bella. Wow, this is a good one. We just get deeper and deeper into this world. I'm very excited to get into this, but I could not do it alone. I am Sean McHugh, aka lover of strong women, and I am your moderator. But with me, of course, as always, first we have Miss Ashmin Ram, who always brings an amazing insight. Ashmin, how are you today?
I'm so good, you guys. Happy Wednesday. What an awesome episode we're going to get into today.
And of course, the sister to the sisters, my man, Cody Epperson. Hello, Cody.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
She's an active registered voter. She's back from her break last week. We're excited to have her back, Miss Adiamond Baker. Hello, Adiamond.
Hello, I'm happy to be back. I'd rather be doing this than working. So, well, not really, being overstressed with work. I'm glad I have a job. Sorry, erase that.
All good. All good. It's always good to have you back. Okay, so let's just go overall thoughts, right? Because this is a big episode. We got a little more in depth with Bella. We found out that Phyllis's Achilles heel is a pie in the face, and of course, the first ever government-funded Women's National Convention. Lots to talk about. Overall thoughts. Cody, let's start with you.
I loved this one. I watched it this morning, and normally in the morning, I'm like, oh, I have to watch some shows, but I was captivated right away, and it was good. I'm sad there's only 2 more episodes. I was really excited and really into this one.
Awesome. Adiamond.
Yes, I love that we're getting to see Schlafly unravel a little bit and kind of see her make deals with the devil almost. I'm excited to keep going in this. So yeah, it's interesting.
I like that. Deals with the devil. Ashmin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I found this episode really entertaining. I loved seeing Bella do what she does so well. Seeing Betty come back in the picture. It's always nice to see those two empowering women come together and join forces. And overall, it was great. It was wonderful.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with our episode title namesake, Bella, who's also, as you guys have known, I've said she's my favorite character. So I was really excited to get a little deeper into her. We find out that she did not win the Senate race, so a little sad about that. And we got to see a little more vulnerability than we've ever seen with her, because she's just usually she's the mom, she's in charge. But this was very cool to see her kind of just be, just disappointed, as we are as human beings. It didn't go her way. Adiamond, talk about that scene when they came and visited her.
I really liked it. Again, we got to see what you said. We got to see her vulnerability. I thought it was interesting that Midge, is that her name?
Yeah.
Midge, who, it's almost like that weird, I can't explain it. When she got her a job, working for no pay, but to head up the thing that she started, years ago. But it was almost, I didn't want it to be like a pity thing, or I don't know. It felt like that was kind of their emotion behind it. And so I felt really bad for Bella, but I love that she was excited to do it, and she was the man for the job, and I believed her, and so I thought the whole conversation about them, I had to watch this episode twice because they were cutting really quick between these girls and those girls, and just a lot of quick conversation, and almost like Ocean's 11 type, quick, fast, and so
Right.
I had to watch it, the whole episode again, to understand the little intricacies of what was happening. But I just love that we got to the whole conversation about the food in the beginning. There's just such great little moments like that build the scene and make it very rich. and you get to see her with her husband too, and they're a sweet couple, and he's a sweet man, and that was nice to see because she's such a strong character. So, that usually happens, but in relationships, one woman is like the woman's really strong character and the guy's, more subtle and calming, or vice versa. So, yeah, it's nice to see their relationship.
Nice, yeah. So Cody, they had this spread that apparently no one wanted to eat, right? Like, talk a little bit about that, and also just your thoughts on this whole vulnerable Bella.
Well, talking about the spread first was just so funny because uh, um, she even said, she's like, "Oh, just pretend you're on a diet." Like, that's what I always say. And then Bella walks out. And she's like, "Why is no one touching the food? You sick?" Like, and it was just, she just calls them out like right away, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we gotta eat." It was like what Adiamond said. Like, it made the scene so rich because it's not like what scene was about, but it was just a little extra layer. But it definitely brought some humor. However, with Bella losing her campaign, that was really disappointing because in the last episode we kind of got a glimpse that it was happening, and because all we want is for these women to succeed. So for her to have lost was historically accurate, but it was just I wanted her to win. And it was really cool for them to come in and have another job opportunity for her, especially, I mean, it's something that she founded. So, and I mean, Diamond, you nailed it. Like, she was the man for the job, and so far killed it.
Love it. So Ashmin, yeah. So Diamond touched on a little bit. We get to meet her husband finally, who we've never seen, and I just love that you could tell he was just super supportive, and just they had a really good relationship. So give us some thoughts on that.
Totally. I mean, I feel like he totally knows what Bella's about. Like, he knows he has a strong woman. She's a passionate woman.
Mm.
She's dedicated her life to this like entire cause. So he's just kind of like understands that, when she's strong and kind of overbearing, that's just who she is. But I love like seeing him just right beside her, still supporting her, like knowing that she's far from the journey being over. And it was nice to see, Bella not just have to be strong all the time, but also be kind of open to being like, well, I worked hard for this position. It didn't work out. But I love to see her strength because her clapback was so quick. Like, she didn't win, but she didn't hesitate to just jump back on the horse and say, this is my mission. Like, let's get together and do it. So I loved her strength to what her goal was, and it just shows like nothing is going to stop her until she like gets the job done.
Love it. So she's in charge now of the first ever government funded National Women's Conference, right? Because they had done this before, but this one's government funded, so it's a big deal. And but of course, as as what always happens in this show, we're excited to start this thing, but everybody's got a different opinion of how it's supposed to go. They have this meeting about how, the budget items, and I love that Gloria's having them meditate. Like, really? Like, and I love that Bella has about 3 seconds worth of care about this. So Cody, talk a little bit about that scene. I really like that.
It was so funny just to watch it happen, because at first I didn't really understand what was going on, and then we see Bella, who's just not having it. She's like, "You got to be freaking kidding me!" And then Gloria's walking us to this thing, and then it's just like, "So buses or table skirts?" And it's just like, "Okay, we get it. The freaking buses are more important." It was just so. It was a really fun way to see how their office. I guess I don't want to say office politics, but just like how they kind of get things done, and how the difference between the difference in how they operate. And it was just a really playful way to show how these two powerful women can get things done.
Nice. So, Diamond, we have difference of opinion on what should be on this ballot, right?
Mhm.
Gloria obviously wants the lesbian, the gay rights thing on. She wants it at the forefront, and Bella is not into it. She's like, we have to kind of choose our battles here, and this is where you kind of have old school versus new school, and this whole thing. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I think as you get older, right, you get more surly or more cautious. And I think that in that moment of her deciding to keep everyone safe and not cause a ruckus by having such a controversial topic on the ballot, by removing that, it was in her cautious state, and she wanted to protect the women. But the new people want to come in, like Gloria. They want to still cause a ruckus. They still want to be those radical activists, and it was very sad and interesting to see that dynamic play out, especially that she had to directly tell the lesbian couple that was in the office with her directly, you know. And I couldn't, and I thought it was a nice clap back when Midge was like, yeah, the president ain't coming. Like,
Yes.
like, you know, Bella was like, your job is to make sure the president's there. And she's like, well, guess what? Not happening, because you're taking something from me. I'm going to take something from you. I mean, that's how I took it. And, you know, I think it's just, I thought it was a really good scene. I'll say what I have to say for later because I don't want to ruin it again. But I thought it was a great scene. See old versus new, and to see her have to, you know, go into that, have to be reminded of who she was and why she came into this in the first place.
Love it. Love it. So so Bella now wants to take on Phyllis, right? She's like, I want to go challenge her. And of course, Gloria is like, I don't think we need to engage with this person, you know. And Bella says a very interesting thing. She says, that's the difference between you and me. You want to go preach to the choir. So Ashmin, talk about that whole scene and how, like, we almost get a sense that Bella's starting to unravel a little bit in that moment.
Absolutely. You know, I feel like Bella has been around the block, right? So when she made that comment and said, you like to go preach to the choir, she's like, you keep sending a message to the same people that have the same message as you. Like, we need to get more people involved and have them get other people involved, not just keep on talking to the same people that are already in agreement with us. And I think, you know, Gloria kind of felt that. She's like, oh, it is true, because it is a little bit safer when you have a bunch of people agreeing with you and everyone's, you know, about the same cause. And Bella and her personality, she's like, I'm going to get out there. Like, I'm fearless. I'm not afraid to speak against the people that are against us. And we're going to make noise. And we're going to do our best to get our message around and really change minds. And I personally really admire that about Bella. And I think that's what makes her like such a good leader, because she is kind of like she's strong, she's fearless, and she will step up to the plate, whether she's there by herself or, you know, she has a bunch of people behind her. And I think that's exactly what she did by showing up. And she even empowered the other women there by I love that scene when she walked into the room and the other three ladies were there. Phyllis
So
hadn't
good.
shown up, right? And she just totally reads those girls. She's just like, oh, you guys aren't sure yet. Oh, like, you know, she just totally sensed their energy and was like, you guys are unsure if she's showing up and you guys are pretty afraid right now. And I just thought she was just amazing at the way she read them and just held her position, but also still included them as women for the same objective that everyone is kind of empowering and fighting over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Adiamond.
yeah, just to keep on that, she wasn't mean, and she wasn't like made them feel less than. She just was bringing to their attention more information, or the whole information, or opening their eyes a little bit. So I thought that shows a lot in her character, that she wasn't being mean or like, you know, like bitchy.
She wasn't being petty. You know, I
Petty,
love
yeah.
it. She says, well, what has she taught you? And of course, they have all this list of things. Congratulations, you're working girls. You know, like, so it really made them, like, she got them in their heads to really think about, like, what are you guys fighting for? Because I don't think you know. You know, you kind of get caught up in a movement, and I think this happens a lot. People get caught up in a swept up in a movement, and they don't even know what they're fighting for half the time. So that was, but you're right, Adiamond. She was very classy the way she did it, which is where I think someone else might have been a little more petty or bitchy.
Like for me, I have to wonder what those three women really thought after that sunk in. You know what I mean? Like you are working, so where do you like what were they feeling? Like what on earth could they have, how could they
Hmm.
continue to be underneath or in the same frame of mind as Shafley? And I, as a prediction later on, I will continue what I think will happen on that. But
Awesome, awesome. All right, so this we'll kind of end this thing just quickly with this. We have this amazing scene between Bella and Gloria, right at the end of the episode, where Bella kind of realizes that maybe she was compromising too much. Ashmin, talk about that scene, if you would. Just it was such a beautiful scene for me. I would love to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see them come together again. I feel like, everyone works better together when they're on the same team. And like you said, like it's easy to sometimes get distracted from what you're fighting for. So I loved seeing them come back together. I'm happy that Bella chose to put the issue back on the ballot. Like, she realized she was going to lose a lot of people if she kind of let her own fears get into the way of something that could be like a huge change. And I love the conversation about this being something like really epic and like being like a revolution when they came
Mm.
together and they're like, let's just let everybody in. Like, let's see what is going to happen. We don't know. And they both just kind of grinned at each other and was like, okay, this could either be horrible or this could be like a crazy, crazy change that we like nobody could see coming. So I thought it was great to see that collaboration, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen from it.
well,
Yeah.
I also think it's cool because not only did they have that thought to open it up and let everyone in, but so did the other side, Shafley and her people and her committees. Like it it needed to happen. Like if not by messaging each other or the petty things that they were doing to each other or whatever, but just by like consciousness of like a whole, it needed to happen. And it does. If you want to get everybody's opinions and everybody's voices, everybody needs to be included. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. And a lot of people don't get reached out to because they want to stick, like Gloria does, like to stick to the people who will listen to them and keep cheering them on and agree with them. And so, yeah, it's a revolution for sure.
Love it. So Cody, we have this nice, also this one, I'm going to do the final moment between Bella and Betty, where because the OGs coming together, and their interaction is so amazing. Like you could tell there's a history there. They kind of bicker at each other, but it's a loving bickering. And finally Bella says, "Does it bother you that no one calls you radical anymore?" And then, of course, Betty's like, "We're mainstream. It's a good thing. This is what we worked for." So talk about that a little bit, Cody.
What I really liked about that moment was it showed that Bella's conversation with Gloria really did sink in. It wasn't like they just kind of had an argument and they moved on. It stuck with her, and so and I like it. It is great that they are these women with this credibility that makes them mainstream. But it is good to see that Bella is like, well, maybe we do need to get back to the basics and do things how we used to do. Maybe we are compromising too much. And I just like that she's thinking. She's not just like, oh, this is how things are done. She's trying to be innovative and not just think about how her position works, but think about how it could work.
Love it. Great. So now let's turn to the other side of the coin. This episode starts insane. So first of all, Phyllis wrote a book. What? The Power of the
Right.
Positive Woman.
What
And
does that
I
even
was like,
mean?
I know, it's like Phyllis can never be outdone, right? Because her counterpart has already written a book, like that's published. So, well, Phyllis, I gotta have a book too. But be careful what you wish for, because I love the way they set this moment up where her daughter, who's going to Princeton, and is not really on board as much with mom as mom would like her to be. she was saying already she's Princeton one semester and already screwing their liberal agenda. And then wham, pie to the face. Wow. Ashmin, what did you think about that?
I was so shocked. I did not see that coming at all. Like that's exactly how the opening scene was. And Phyllis is being her normal kind of conservative self, selling her book with confidence, and all of a sudden she, is literally slammed on the face with this pie. And it was crazy. And I think it shook everybody up in the room as well. Like
Mm,
nobody saw it coming, but it made a huge statement. And who it even came from? I think it was like one of the servers or the waiters. Like it just came out of the blue. So I think I'm glad that everyone saw that she is a target. Like,
mm.
this wasn't somebody from just sitting in the room. Like it was plotted. They knew she was going to be there. And when that moment came, like pie to the face. She was
Yeah.
pretty messed up from it.
Yeah. And then, of course, like it was almost like her Achilles heel because now we see for the first time, she's wavered here and there, but Phyllis unravels from this whole incident. Wow. So, Adiamond, talk a little bit about, how she just falls apart.
Well, yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I think they're alluding to menopause
Mm,
and of course the pie in the face and it publicly happening um can only make things worse. Like I her hair in that scene when she looks like the mad scientist, like remixing those tapes and re-editing their words, I was like, yeah, I want to see more of this because she really has made a deal with the devil. And I want to say it's with, what is it, Biddy, or the really conservative anti-abortion like lady that she had to partner up with to get her people on board. What's her name?
yes.
Well, like it's like that's the devil in my like story right now because that lady is like against gay rights. And in that moment in the last episode when they were shooting guns, she was like talking bad about gay people, and Phyllis had to like bite her tongue and still pair with her, knowing that she knows her son is gay. And so now she's like now sticking with her and allowing Klansmen to possibly show up and maybe support because anybody can do that at this rally. Like she is making some crazy decisions. And I think that on top of menopause, on top of pie on face, is causing her to now be bad media and like
Right.
join together these like I mean she is creating a monster has been created out of all of this, and I think it's great and I'm excited for it.
So we have, because she gets like injured and because she's now a target, she has to do some delegating that she's not really excited about. I love what she says, first of all, about the convention. It's a federally funded festival for frustrated feminists. Like that alliteration, like the writer was in the room. You could just, he was just like, oh, I'm so funny. I'm amazing. Um,
She probably
so,
struggled with it a couple times,
oh,
like
I bet.
trying to
Yeah. Like
the
say
same,
that 5 times fast.
yeah.
So we have Rosemary stepping up to the plate. So this was very interesting for me. Don't be sleeping on Rosemary. She was like, "Oh yeah, I got this, girl." And then she has the whole idea of the Citizens Review Committee, so that it doesn't necessarily point to Phyllis. Wow, Cody, talk about this whole thing of this kind of her underlings really kind of stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, the ladies on her team definitely have wanted to be doing more. We see little glimpses of it. They all kind of have their own ideas and they all have their own thoughts. And I mean, I'm not on their side, but it is nice to see them stepping up. And it's nice to see, I hate to say it, it's like Schadenfreude. Like, it's like, I like to see that Phyllis is kind of mad that her team is like doing things without her because Phyllis likes to be the center of attention. And it's great to see these ladies stepping up, and I feel like we're going to see more from them, especially the episode kind of ended with all three of them got elected for whatever and Phyllis didn't. And what was it? Her name's Rosemary, right? Am I?
Yes, Rosemary.
And it was great because Rosemary stepped up and she already had a plan in mind, and it just goes to show that like they're not just Phyllis's little minions. Like they have thoughts and feelings, and sometimes I think we kind of touched on this a while back. Like it's a society or a class where these people don't necessarily express their emotions as openly as they would like, and we see their frustrations, and now I think they're having this funny little opportunity to kind of, like, these seeds are sprouting, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and also in that moment when they're all sitting at the table and Shapley has her like pirate look going on, and the alt-right lady sitting directly across from her, and she's like, well, says, you're a lightning rod, like maybe it's safe you stay here. And then after that she suggests she implies that someone is perfect to take her place, meaning
Yes.
herself. And
Sure.
Shapley's like, don't you dare. And in that moment is when Rosemary steps up and she's like, I'd rather you than this Ku Klux Klan, alt-right, anti-abortionist, crazy psycho woman do it. And it actually turns out that Rosemary is able to create this committee and sneak up on the liberals in this whole thing. And so again, to your point, Cody, I'm excited, even though they're not exactly in my same frame of like mind, but like I'm happy to see them stick up and start growing their own, sprouting their own seeds. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun to see them all, like they all literally go and get elected in different places so that they can get seats at the convention. And I love when they all find out they win, and oh, you won, we all won, oh great. And then the younger one, the one who I guess who has the trouble with, I can't remember her name, she has trouble with her husband, saying, well, it's we kind of have to go because the government's paying us. It's kind of like a
It's like a
job.
job.
Yeah, Ashmin, talk about that.
I love that part, because I think my favorite part about seeing these women come into these positions is they're actually getting knowledge now. Like they're getting schooled and empowered about what they're doing. I think for so long they've been under Phyllis and just learning from her and how it should be. So the more involved they get, they're actually learning about what the ERA is, like what this movement is, and what's actually like taking place. So I'm loving that, they're actually getting factual information and they'll be able to make their own decisions now and have a voice to speak, opposed to just be like Phyllis's minion and go off that. And I think it's already happening. Like when Phyllis was dubbing the tapes, the other lady was like, wait a minute, you're totally taking things out of context. Like she said that, but she didn't say it like that. And that's pretty devious. And as we heard the other lady say, she was like, oh, this is kind of like a job. So I feel like the more empowered these ladies get, they're going to be like, wait a minute, the movement is not what we have led to believe it has been the whole time. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're going to get empowered and knowledged in their positions, and hopefully take a stand that will be helpful for all women.
What I love that's sneaking up on everyone, sorry to like cut you off, Sean, is that there are women stepping up and coming together, on the liberal side of things. And then there are women on the very conservative side, these housewives who are stepping up for what they believe in and having a job and a role, all without the ERA enacted. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's even sneaking up on the liberals that, if you just come together and start fighting for and speaking up for yourself, you too can be, and like, if you have a good committee of people and support, all of us can have a say. And then which is kind of the point that Phyllis was having. And then Phyllis is like not staying in her home, and neither are any of the women, because they're working for something they believe in to stay in the home. It's like this, it's like, if we just, we don't need these rules to be passing. We just, we almost have to just be a team and be all together, and all these things that we're wanting to achieve. But I think it's funny. Anyways, side note, random.
Yeah, so no, I think I like what you're saying, that essentially that once they kind of get started, they realize that they have a purpose. They don't need necessarily one side or the other. They can fight for themselves. I think we're definitely leading up to an amazing next episode at this convention in Houston. I will say it was a little overdramatic at the end. I was almost expecting Phyllis to twist her mustache at the end there, but That's all right. You know, I like the show. It's been good. We are coming down the end of it, so I want to get to our special segment. Adiamond, take it away.
Yes, it's special segment time. In honor of the pie in Schlafly's face, I thought that I would give you some facts on pie and then also like a little fact about that day. So that day happened on April 15th in 1977, and it was a man named Aaron Kay, and he was like an activist for feminism, and he actually smashed pies in a lot of people's faces.
Oh.
This so this actually did happen, and
Was he
Schla-
also a
Schla-
clown on the side?
yeah, he had a lot of other clown friends, but so I thought that was really interesting that this actually really did happen, and that it was done by a man who did this quite often in this whole like political war that was going on. So now I'm going to tell you a few facts about pie. Pumpkin pie was the first introduced to the holiday table at the Pilgrim's Second Thanksgiving in 1623. Also, pie is so special that it has 2 days, December 1st and January 23rd, just 3 days after my birthday. They are national pie holidays. And then Oliver Cromwell, who is an English general and statesman, he banned eating pie in 1644 and declared it a pagan form of pleasure. And for about
Wow.
16 years, pie eating and making went underground until the Restoration leaders lifted the ban on pie in 1660. And then Boston cream pie is really a cake. It's not a pie. So, you know, give me that.
That's hilarious.
So now I'd like to just, go around and ask you guys. And if you're in the comments, or if you're watching this live or later, we want to know your favorite pie. But Sean, tell me your favorite pie and why.
I'm old school. A good apple pie a la mode, and I'm in. Although I do love a pecan as well.
Only one. Why?
Why?
You're old fashioned.
Oh, what, the apple? Yeah, no. I mean, a good apple pie a la mode, you can't beat it. It's America, and this is America. So there you go.
Okay. All right, Ashmin.
Oh, I'm gonna have to say pumpkin pie. Like every Thanksgiving, I look forward to it, and I don't care if it's like store-bought or people bake it. I'm like, let me be the little sampler for the pumpkin pie. So I'm all about it.
Love it. Cody.
I would say mine used to be pumpkin, like because it's definitely traditional. It brings you home. But honestly, my favorite pie is I really like key lime pie, and it's like right. It's just like it's like different. It's unique. It's
Tangy, it's so good.
yeah. It's a little It's just I can't put words to it, but it's like I never can turn that down.
Cody, you refreshed my memory. I freaking like that pie too. I forgot, but for those same reasons. But the pie I had in mind was pecan pie. I freaking love it because I like throwing a bunch of things into a bowl and like eating it. I never just have something the way it is. Like I just mix it up anyways. And the nice like soft texture with the crunchy pecans is like bomb. So yeah, that's why I like it.
Awesome. So unfortunately, we are out of time. So no predictions this week. You're going to have to hold on to them. Only 2 episodes left. Quickly, tell us where we can find you, Adiamond.
Instagram, Twitter, at notyourtype, NOT_YUR_TYPE. And then you could watch on my Run After show on Mondays. Tuesday, I have Dragnificent. I do 1-in-1 with Sean and Cody. And then again today.
All right, Cody.
I'm on Twitter as Cody_F and on Instagram as Cody F, CODYYEPP.
Ashmin.
Totally. I'm on Instagram, Insights by Ish. And as Adiamond said, leave your comments on our live chat. I'll go through them. I'll bring it up on our next week AfterBuzz show, and look forward to all your fan engagement.
You can find me at SeanStar75 on the gram, Gorilla Suit Sean on Twitter, the Run After Show with Diamond, Council of Dads on Friday nights at 7. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been another amazing episode. Only 2 left. So please come back next week and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.